right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This is the first episode of my brand new true crime / combat sports podcast. This is really merging two of my favorite things together into one little talking podcast, lighthearted, not so serious, although it's very serious topic. So I guess very serious. If you follow me on Twitter, you'll know that this is the second time I've recorded this podcast because I deleted the first because I am not a podcaster. This is all new to me. I don't know what I'm doing. You're probably going to hear my cats in the background, maybe their water fountain, our air conditioner. Please bear with me as I learn more about how to do this and to get it right. And I hope that you are all willing to listen, even if you might hear some weird things along the way. So without further ado, all right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This is the first episode of my brand new true crime / combat sports podcast. This is really merging two of my favorite things together into one little talking podcast, lighthearted, not so serious, although it's very serious topic. So I guess very serious. If you follow me on Twitter, you'll know that this is the second time I've recorded this podcast because I deleted the first because I am not a podcaster. This is all new to me. I don't know what I'm doing. You're probably going to hear my cats in the background, maybe their water fountain, our air conditioner. Please bear with me as I learn more about how to do this and to get it right. And I hope that you are all willing to listen, even if you might hear some weird things along the way. So without further ado, thank you to episode 1.
Please.
Sobering truth is his history dictates and determines that the same thing is going to happen. That is his character. That is him at his core. I look at that young lady, the PR lady that's on his team now, and I see in her eyes, she knows she's fighting a losing battle. I look at his coaches. I see that these guys know that this kid will not change. He will not change. He's the same guy. He's rotten at his core, and he will continue to up.
Don't you think that people can learn from their mistakes?
Mistakes? You don't constantly make mistakes.
No?
You make mistakes, but you don't do them over and over and over and over. No,
says who?
You don't do that. If
Says
you
who?
know when you make a mistake, it changes you. You try to make yourself better.
Not necessarily.
And this is, many times we've heard this speech. John, this isn't the first time you've told us this.
No, absolutely. You know what?
This isn't the first time you've told us that. So how am I supposed to believe this guy? In truth.
Jon Jones began his UFC career on August 9th, 2008, when he won a unanimous decision at UFC 87. He would go on to earn a series of wins before suffering his first and only loss to Matt Hamill after Jones was disqualified for illegal elbows. Many fans do not regard this loss as legitimate due to the circumstances, and he even still kind of considers himself undefeated. It is worth noting that the rule that disqualified him back then is no longer a rule today, and he feels that he should have that loss overturned. His next big highlight came when he defeated Mauricio Hua to become the youngest UFC champion ever, and his long-standing title reign began. It's also worthy to note that that record has not yet been broken. There have been some people come close, and there are some people on the horizon who some think maybe could break that, but so far he's held pretty tight to that. Unfortunately, it wasn't all rainbows and sunshine for Jones, and his rap sheet began to accumulate almost as fast as his Tapology record did. In May 2012, Jones was involved in an accident when he crashed his Bentley into a telephone pole in New York State. He was arrested for a DUI and bailed out by his mother. He later pled guilty and was issued a $1,000 fine and forced to install ignition interlocks in all of his vehicles. He also completed a victim's impact class and had his license suspended for 6 months. This is the first time that fans really saw there might be an issue with Jones and alcohol, though it was still pretty early and that thought didn't become a real concern for a few more arrests, unfortunately. The next big issue Jones faced came in 2015 when he tested positive for cocaine ahead of UFC 182. Jones admitted he had used the illegal drug and then checked himself into rehab. His mother later told the press that he had checked himself out of rehab just after one day. Jones released the following statement at the time. With the support of my family, I have entered into a drug treatment facility. I want to apologize to my fiance, my children, as well as my mother, father, and brothers for the mistake that I made. I also want to apologize to the UFC, my coaches, my sponsors, and equally important, to my fans. I'm taking this treatment program very seriously. Therefore, at this time, my family and I would appreciate privacy. Here's also a clip of Jones talking about the incident to Fox Sports.
Really embarrassing situation, and I had to explain to so many people that I'm not a cocaine addict by any means, or not even a frequent user. It just made a really dumb decision. Just really got caught my pants down in this whole situation.
Just a few months later, Jones found himself in hot water yet again. This time he was arrested in Albuquerque after leaving the scene of a hit and run. Jones struck a car with a pregnant woman who suffered an injured wrist and a broken arm from the crash. Witnesses identified the UFC champion when he returned to the car to grab, quote, a large handful of cash. A marijuana pipe with marijuana inside was also located in the vehicle, which Jones had rented. He ended up turning himself into police and was stripped of his UFC title and suspended from the UFC. He was reinstated to the roster 6 months later, after Jones had pled guilty to one felony charge and was given 18 months of probation and ordered to do 72 community service appearances. This is an incident that fans refer back to quite often when referring to Jones. This was the very first incident where someone was injured and people could see a level of, let's call it an increased level of seriousness in the issues that were befalling Jones. So no longer was he the sole victim of his own actions. Now there were other people involved. In 2016, Jon was stopped and ticketed for drag racing in New Mexico. Jones received several tickets, and body cam footage was released showing a tense exchange between Jones and the ticketing officer. Take a listen to the exchange, and apologies in advance for the beeping. It was just in the audio, and it's unable to avoid.
Did you have something you wanted to say, Mr. Jones?
Yes, I do. Is your thing recording here?
It's always recording. Did you have something you wanted to say, Mr. Jones?
Yes, absolutely. You and I both know that I was not drag racing.
No, sir, I actually know that you were drag racing.
Okay,
I watched you do it.
Okay, let me talk, right?
Okay.
Do I have that right
Mr.
to
Jones,
talk?
we're not having court out here.
Do I have that
you
right
have
to
a court
talk?
date, and you can.
Do I have that right to talk?
You do have that right to talk,
Okay,
and you can
so
tell
give
us
me my
in
right
court.
to let me talk. Okay?
Go ahead, tell me what you're going to tell.
You and I both know.
Don't tell me what I know. You're going to testify to what I know?
Yeah, fuck yeah, I'm going to testify to what you know.
I know that you were drag racing, and I will testify to that.
That I was not drag racing.
Actually, I do know that you were drag racing.
Both know that I did not speed. You and I both know that I freaking revved my engine at the red light, and I never took off racing at all. Nor was the car next to me ever took off racing. I just simply revved
Both
my
of you
engine.
took off at a high rate of speed, sir.
No, I did
Only
not.
you kept going. He
no,
slowed down.
I did not.
Okay.
You are an absolute fucking liar.
Well, we can talk about it in court. I need you to sign inside this box. Once again, you're not admitting guilt. You're letting me know you're aware of the court date.
After being stopped, Jones was arrested for a potential probation violation stemming from that hit and run we just discussed. Jones would eventually reach a plea deal and pled guilty to modification of an exhaust system, failure to maintain traffic lane, and improper display of registration plates. He was sentenced to just 60 hours of community service and ordered to complete an aggressive driving course. In 2019, Jon Jones was charged with assault after being accused of slapping, choking, touching, and kissing a cocktail waitress against her wishes. The woman claimed Jones picked her up and held her in the air and slapped her in the genitals, among other things. When fans and media caught wind of the charges, he took to Twitter to defend himself. He tweeted, "I know there's a whole bunch of people hoping for my downfall, but there's even more who are proud of me and love seeing me do well. And screw staying inside, I love this community. Excited to keep climbing, haters going to be mad when I win in December." He pled no contest to the incident and was given probation. In March 2020, right as the COVID pandemic began, Jones was arrested again, this time for aggravated DWI and negligent use of a firearm. A police officer heard a gunshot and went to investigate and found Jones intoxicated in his Jeep, with a gun and an empty bottle of Jorge Masvidal's Recuerdo in the back seat. He was also charged with possession of an open container and no proof of insurance. The police stated when they arrived that Jones had, quote, bloodshot, watery eyes and a strong odor of alcohol, end quote. It also stated that he admitted to driving earlier and had the intention of driving again. Jones did a field sobriety test, and it was reported that he did poorly on all 3 of the tests. He pled guilty and was given 4 days of house arrest. And guys, it does not stop there. I wish we'd reached present day, but we still have several more incidents to go through. If you're feeling tired and need a break, I don't blame you. This is all very hard to ingest, especially if you're a fan of MMA. So take a break, come back, and I'll get into some of the, I would say, arguably worse incidents of Jones's career. Up next. In 2021, Jon Jones was arrested again. This one is one of the more serious, if not the most serious, of his arrests. It happened just shortly after he was inducted into the UFC Hall of Fame, and by shortly I mean hours after. He was being interviewed by media, including myself, on the red carpet, and just hours later was being arrested. The story goes that Jones and his longtime fiancée got into an argument in their hotel room after Jones arrived late and intoxicated after being out with friends. During the argument, Jones allegedly locked her and at least one of their children outside of the room. They went to the lobby to get a key and get some help from the front desk when the attendant noticed blood on her shirt and face. The employee asked her if she needed help, and she said she did, but that she didn't want police called. She just wanted her things from the room. She kept insisting that she was okay. According to the police report, it was Jones's child who asked for the police to be called. When the police arrived and put Jones into custody, he was combative with police, calling them nerds and slamming his head against the police car. You can hear some of the exchange with the police in the body cam footage that I'll play for you now. And again, the audio isn't great and it may be difficult to understand, but it's the best that we have.
Yeah. Emulate me, my Hall of Fame. You f***ing nerd. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. You f***ing nerd. I hate you so much. Thank you, my Hall of Fame name. What's your name? Put it on camera.
Doesn't like you, Josh.
Nerd. Don't touch me. Please don't hurt me.
Get your paw everywhere.
Sir. Yes, sir. You f***ing nerd.
Calm down.
On my Hall of Fame night. Say your name publicly. Say it. Garrett what? John. Officer Nerd. Calm Garrett. Down, bro. You heard me in my Hall of Fame night just because I'm big and black. And what did I do? All these officers. What did I do? Officer Garrett Nerd. You heard me on my Hall of Fame night just to have it. I want you to be famous as fuck. And I heard that someone comes to me.
No, sorry, man.
I came from my Hall of Fame ceremony, and I'm black, and I have my friends, and I did nothing to you. And I'm not, it was at a ceremony with a Hall of Fame person. I'm not going to answer your questions no more.
Wow.
Go hang me, hurt me, and kill me. What did I do? Thank you. On my Hall, a black man can't drink? Getting elected into the Hall of Fame, and now this is what I got. Do you?
Relax. Relax. You all right? You all right? Just relax.
According to the police report, Jones's fiancée admitted that he was a little physical with her, pulled her hair, preventing her from leaving the room. Police also observed blood on her shirt, her lip, a mark on her cheek, and blood on the sheets in the hotel room. After the arrest, Jones wrote on Instagram, "I have way too much trauma to consume alcohol. My brain simply can't handle it anymore. I will leave alcohol in my past forever. Now is the time to work harder than ever. Turn this nightmare into the best thing to ever happen in my life. A few months after, Jones admitted that his fiancée had left him and tweeted about fans rejoicing at that fact. When he did eventually return to the UFC, she was in attendance with him in the octagon, so it does seem that they have been able to move past this incident and are back together. UFC President Dana White was asked about the incident and had this to say about Jon Jones.
It's hard to bring this guy to Las Vegas for any reason. The city is not good for Jon Jones. And here we are again.
What was your reaction when you first got the news that there had been another incident?
It's like it's not even shocking anymore. It's when we bring him here, it's almost expected. You know, you can't even get him in Las Vegas for less than 12 hours to induct him into the Hall of Fame. It's a problem. You know, this guy's got a lot of demons, man. A lot of demons.
The domestic violence charges were dropped, and Jones pled guilty to felony tampering with a police vehicle and served no jail time. His longtime gym, Jackson Wink, severed ties with Jon after the incident, and it seemed like a bit Jon might be able to actually recover from this, that he finally may have learned his lesson, despite so far not serving a single day in jail. Unfortunately, it did not seem that Jones was able to stay out of trouble very long. In 2023, Jones was accused of threatening to kill a woman who had arrived at his home to administer a drug test under USADA, which at the time was the sanctioning body for the UFC. USADA is no longer a part of the UFC, but at the time, there was a little bit of controversy with the way that they were showing up to fighters' homes at inopportune times. So it was a little bit of a hot topic at the time. Jones denied that he did or said anything untoward, and he released this statement. I want to address reports about me allegedly threatening a drug tester's life and taking a phone. I want to clarify that there is a video showing both drug testers leaving my home after the testing session where we exchanged a high five and a hug. Although I was frustrated with the unprofessionalism and used profanity out of frustration, it ended friendly and amicably, nothing threatening at all. I was actually celebrating a friend's birthday party at my home and believe it's perfectly normal to celebrate in the comfort of my own home. I must say this particular tester behaved quite unprofessionally and even breached standard protocol along with HIPAA laws. Throughout my 20 years of being subjected to drug tests, I have never encountered such an incident with a DCO officer before. It's unclear what has actually stemmed from this. I don't know if anything was resolved. He was charged with 2 misdemeanors, but at press time, I was not able to find any resolution. I don't know if the charges were dropped, if he was punished, or what's going on with this. I will hopefully update it as soon as I can find more information. And that leads us up till today. This whole episode was pieced together really in tune with what has just happened, what has just transpired. This is being recorded on July 3rd, so this is up to date as much as we can from then. The whole thing starts with this statement from Dana White.
Jon Jones called us last night and retired. Jon Jones is officially retired. Tom Aspinall is the heavyweight champion of the UFC.
Just hours after White announced that Jones had retired, a criminal summons was issued for him. The incident allegedly occurred on February 21st, and he's been called to appear on July 24th. Here's what happened. The Albuquerque police were investigating a crash when they found a woman in the passenger seat of a car missing its driver. The woman was exhibiting signs of significant intoxication and lacked clothing from the waist down. She explained to the police she had been drinking and doing mushrooms with Jon Jones at his home, and he was driving the car. She called Jones on the phone, and police spoke to a man who they believed to be Jon Jones. The man appeared to be heavily intoxicated and threatened the police. Police also say Jones called the woman another 13 times after that conversation and sent her several text messages, which we so far have not seen. We don't know what those text messages say. Go ahead and listen to this audio. This is Jon Jones allegedly on the phone with an officer on the scene.
Okay, they're gonna check you out, okay? She's over here. Oh, she has no pants. She said she has no pants.
No pants. Okay, that's fine. Can we ask what's going on?
Please talk to him. Please talk to him. This is that's a friend of mine. Hello, who am I speaking to? Me is PSA Lopez. And who am I speaking to?
What's your name?
PSA Lopez? With the Albuquerque Police Department?
How many guys you guys I'll do with you?
Don't worry about that, man. Were you the one driving the vehicle?
My brothers attacked the dreams, sisters, and cell phones.
He was the one driving the vehicle.
They slip drills. They're the most evil people you'll ever meet.
That's Jon Jones. Jon Jones? Mm-hmm. He was the one driving the vehicle.
But they don't waste their cases with just killing you or petty crimes. But they definitely listen to conversations like this, and some of them are bored enough to kill you.
According to the police report, a few days after this incident, Jones was interviewed by the police, and he did admit that he was the man on the phone. He did say that the woman had left his home alone and he was not driving the car. And he said the reason that he spoke the way he did on the phone was because he believed it was a prank, because the police officer was using unprofessional language. Jones didn't directly comment on the reports at first, and he did tweet, "Keep in mind, even the media can get it wrong sometimes. If they don't have all the facts, don't believe everything you read online." After that, Jon Jones's lawyer released a statement saying that he was stunned by the police department's decision to charge Jones on this case. He wrote, "In the thousands of cases I have handled in my career, I have never seen a case as strange and unwarranted as this one. Jon was not driving that night. He wasn't in the car. It appears that an intoxicated woman used a false allegation against Jon to avoid being arrested for DWI, and the police fell for it. Based on the criminal complaint, it looks like they went so far as to seek a warrant for Jon's cell phone while conducting a misdemeanor traffic investigation. I've never heard of such a thing. It is truly unbelievable that the police would waste this amount of resources on such a case. The only thing I can think is that the police were targeting Jones for improper purposes. We will get to the bottom of it and make sure that this baseless case is dismissed." After that, Jones issued a series of tweets and then deleted them. Several of them implicated him in the phone call at the very least. They did appear to also be incoherent in some ways. Some of them didn't make sense. And some fans thought that he may be tweeting while intoxicated. We'll have to wait and see how this one plays out. That's all we have right now. There's been no arrests that we're aware of. The last update we had from Jon was that he was in Thailand, so I don't even know if he's in the country at the time. But this has really been something that fans have brought up a lot. It does fit with the pattern of all of the issues I've just spoken about, but it also does seem like something that someone could say because of that. Maybe someone did want to get out of it and was using Jon as a scapegoat. It does lead me to wonder why she had Jon Jones's phone number and why he answered the phone and called and spoke with her. So there are some things I want to know more about. I think we all need to kind of wait and see how this plays out. But this does also bring up the issue of the GOAT talk. That has been something that fans have discussed for a long time about Jon Jones. Can he be the GOAT with all of these things I've just talked about? is it possible to judge an athlete by just what we see in the sport that he competes in? Or do we want to take into account how he is as a human, how he is as a citizen of the world? I want to know what you guys think. Can you separate all of these issues and look at Jones as just the phenomenal athlete that we all know that he is? Or do these things taint that? Is it impossible to call someone a GOAT when they have all of these legal issues hanging over them? And these are just the legal issues. We didn't even talk about the performance-enhancing drug things, or his issues with Daniel Cormier, or, the issues lately with Tom Aspinall and Francis Ngannou, and some claims that he isn't quite taking fights that he thinks he can lose, that he's only taking fights that he feels he can win. He's not challenging himself, is what fans think. So again, I'd like to know what you think. Let's be civil, let's be nice to each other, but I would like to know what you think. Is he the GOAT? What are your criteria for a GOAT? If not him, who is it? And I hope that you guys will tune in again for another episode of this podcast where I'll talk about a different legal aspect in combat sports. Sometimes I'll talk about, fighters, promoters, victims of crimes, people who have committed the crimes. Let me know what you want to hear about. Let's leave it all in the comments and tell me what you think of episode 1. Thank you again for listening. And if you have any questions or want to hear more about Jon Jones, I've left a lot of the source links in the comments. So go ahead and click those articles and read more details about any of the issues I've talked about today. Thanks again.